Hi, Shannon.
Hey Jenna, how are you?
Good. Today we have a little bit of time with Shannon Sparks to talk about surveys as a data collection method. And we're going to start out by talking about when to use surveys and just a little bit of introduction around surveys. So, Shannon, will you just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself, and then we can start the conversation?
Sure. So like Jenna, I'm an evaluation and program development specialist with UW-Madison Extension. I've been in this position about 4 years, but prior to that, I did a lot of program development and evaluation on my own work, which was broadly in the area of health and health disparities and health equity.
Great. It's good to have you, Shannon, to help teach us all about surveys today. So when do you like to use surveys as a data collection method?
Yeah, there's a couple of different times when I really like to use them. One example is when we want to collect the same information from a large number of respondents. So, for example, a project we worked on recently was collecting information about community garden projects and extension. And using a survey was a great way to collect the same information from each of the garden projects, like pounds of produce grown, the number of partners that we donated produce to, the number of community members served by those donations. So it's a great way to collect consistent information across a large number of respondents. Another case where I think surveys are a great tool is when we want to learn how participants' knowledge or intentions or behavior have changed as the result of an educational intervention. So we can do pre-post surveys, before someone starts an educational class, have them do the survey once as the pre-survey, then do it again, either immediately after a class or a series of classes has ended, or even potentially doing it a third time, maybe 6 months afterwards. And then we can really, get a good sense of was there change in knowledge or change in intention or change in behavior as a result of that intervention that we did. And if you're doing it further down the line, 6 months down the line, then you can see if that was really sustained.
Mm-hmm.
But then kind of on the other side, when I don't think surveys are the most appropriate is when we want more in-depth information or explanations from someone about a topic. And in those cases, you can't really dig in with that participant in the same way with a survey that you can if you're doing something like an interview or a focus group where you can really make sure you have a clear understanding of the participant's perspective.